Maayong adlaw everyone! Welcome to my channel, Core.pia TV. If you're new to my channel, my name is Core and I'm your BizDoc nurse in Southeast England. So today I will be sharing our cost of living in Northern Ireland versus here in Southeast England. So just a quick story. So we used to live in Reading, England before we decided to transfer in Belfast, Northern Ireland and then go back again to Reading, England. So basically my husband arrived first in the UK in year 2016 and I followed him under dependent visa on September 2017. So since he's the only one working as a nurse and I'm still looking for a job during that time, we decided to rent a room in a shared house. So that was £600 a month only for a room. So it's just a bed and a cupboard, there's no toilet inside. So we were sharing the house with 6 other people, different nationalities. We have 2 toilets, 1 kitchen and living room all in one. So imagine the struggle we had when we stayed in a shared house, especially when it comes to cleanliness. So I'm very particular with cleanliness. So I always get stressed when I use the toilet, the shower, and the kitchen. So I told my husband, I cannot live any longer in this type of situation for a long time. I don't think I can take it anymore. So he told me, okay, you want to have a solo flat, then work on your IELTS. So he was keep on encouraging me to pass the English exam first to be able to qualify as a nurse in the UK. Time goes by, then I told him I can't take this anymore, and he suggested, okay, let's transfer to Belfast, Northern Ireland, because we've heard that it's quite cheaper in there when it comes to cost of living. So we transferred in Belfast, Northern Ireland, August 2018. So luckily my husband got a sponsor right away, and they also took me as a senior carer in that company. So we stayed there. We were able to get a very good place for ourselves. We stayed there from August 2018 until the first week of March, and then March 2020 until present we are here back in Reading, England. So let's now talk about the cost of living in Northern Ireland versus England, couples edition. So I made a table for you to have a good comparison of what our expenses when we were in Northern Ireland and now that we're here back in Reading, England. So let's start with the rent. So we used to live in Belfast as the capital of Northern Ireland, and our flat is a huge flat. Actually, there are far more cheaper flats, but we decided to choose this flat because we love it. So I'll show you a clip after this video. So we paid £550 a month. That is 2 rooms, 2 toilets, a huge living room, and a kitchen. And compared to England, we are paying £800 a month for 1 room, 1 toilet, and the appearance of the flat is just similar to a studio type. Council tax, we don't pay any council tax back when we were in Northern Ireland. Now in England, as a couple, we are paying £150 a month. Electricity. So the electricity in Belfast is a top-up card depending on the type of property and what was the setup there. So our agent gave us a card to top up for our electricity. So we usually spend around 15 to 20 pounds a month. So I put the maximum for 20 pounds a month. Here in England, actually we are paying a fixed rate of 25 pounds, 23 pounds a month. But the company reviews all the usage you have yearly. So even though you are paying 23 pounds a month on a fixed rate, after a year of review, if they think you have spent more than what you are paying, then they will eventually charge you. So that's why I put here an estimate cost of our electricity bill, 50 to 80 pounds a month, because our electricity is including the heating. So in our case, that is only a rough estimate because at the moment we are actually paying the fixed rate of 23 pounds a month. But since there's no review yet of our total usage within a year, so I'm just estimating that probably our usage each month is 50 pounds to 80 pounds a month. Water in Belfast is for free, zero, didn't pay anything. In England, we are paying 19 pounds a month for our water bill. Our gas, because our heating in Northern Ireland is run by a gas, so it's also a card that we need to top up. So if it's not winter, we are spending only 10 pounds a month for the gas, but maximum that we spend during winter times is 40 pounds. So here in England, we don't pay anything for the gas because it's already included in our electricity bill. Broadband. So when we were in Belfast, our broadband was pretty fast, and because it's a fiber broadband, we were paying 35 pounds a month. Actually, there are cheaper options, but since that time that we arrived there in Belfast, we are in a hurry that we can have a connection right away on our first week of stay. So we're not patient enough to wait for the cheaper one. So we were paying 35 pounds a month for our broadband. So in England, we are paying 25 pounds 99 a month for our internet. The bad thing, it's not fiber. So since we don't have a car, our transport is by bus. So in Northern Ireland, we are spending around 100 to 110 pounds a month. So there is a bus card there that you can top up every month or weekly or daily. And that is if we take the bus all the time. But there are really times that we take taxi, especially if it's Sunday. Yes, Sunday, because during Sundays, the bus timing is every hour. So it's either you wake up very early to be at work, or you will be late, or you have to take a taxi. It's easier. And in England, our transport, we spend around 130 to 160 pounds a month if we take the bus to work every day. But the good thing here in England is we do have a lot of colleagues with car, and they're very generous to give us a lift going to work. So thank you very much, since we don't have our own cars yet, and we just ask them if we are working on the same day. Oh mate, can you give us a lift going to work? So they're very kind enough to give us a lift. So it's not actually what we are spending every month, but if we are taking the bus every day to our work, that will be our monthly expenses, 130 to 160 pounds a month. And there are also times that we take the taxi, especially during Sundays, and we decide to get lazy. God. Okay, so our phone plan. Back when we were in Belfast, this is quite impractical, so do not follow this thing. What we were paying when we were in Belfast every month for two mobiles, since we are a couple, 50 pounds and 65 pence plus 64 pounds and 64 pence. That is two phones. Actually, they were upgraded phones. That's why it's a SIM and a phone. I'm trying to be defensive here. But it's really expensive. I know, right? It's very expensive. Don't follow us. So we realized that this is impractical, really impractical. We've been upgrading our phone like every 2 years. So very impractical. I know, right? So when we transferred in England, we decided we have to cut off at least one of the phone. So we decided to change no, not this one. So the £13 is the SIM only, and then 61.94 is the one, the upgraded plan. So the SIM and the phone. So do not follow us in this kind of expenses for the phone plan. There are other cheaper options. So food and groceries, I don't put the fixed one because food is life. And this is the only way we can reward ourselves from a long 12-hour shift. So we don't really, we don't compromise our happiness. This is mental health, actually. So usually, you may either think that, they are spending a lot. But you have to think we are couple. And then we are not depriving ourselves with good food. So we eat good food. We cook, and then sometimes, or not sometimes, like we do eat out, especially there was no COVID yet. And then we take deliveries. So we are helping the economy, to be honest. Quite defensive. So our expenses for food, groceries, including the deliveries and eat out, is around 400 to 500. In England, let me just say this, with the groceries, there's not much of the difference. Actually, there's no difference with the amount or the cost of the grocery stuff that you buy. They have the groceries shops the same as here in England. They have Sainsbury's in Northern Ireland. And the amount of the things that we usually buy there and the things that we buy here in England are basically the same. So the food and groceries is basically up to you on how you budget. But for us as a couple, we work hard a lot. Like we work 4 to 5 times a week. So we are rewarding ourselves with good food. So we don't feel guilty of spending money in this kind of matter, because I'm going to discuss to you later that we're still saving money despite of rewarding ourselves with good food. So that is, I put it in a variable, but the estimate is just basically the same, 400 to 500 pounds a month as a couple. Back when we were in Northern Ireland and also in England is the same. So our total bills, when we were in Northern Ireland, we were paying £870 and 29 pence a month. Comparing to England, we are paying 1,309.93 pence a month. So as you can see, the difference between the expenses we had in Northern Ireland compared to what we have now in England is £439 and 64. But there are factors why we chose to be back here in Reading, England, and I will discuss it to you later. So I'm not making this up. This is our expenses every month when we were in Belfast, and now that we are here in Reading, England. How would I know? How would I remember? I'm very organized with things. Well, not all the time, but this was my notebook for expenses. Expenses here: rent, gas, electricity, remittances every month, and then our investments. And then when we arrived here in England, I made a new notebook. If you can see, cash flow, remittances, what do you call it? Investments and savings, some important details. So that's why I keep track. I know what I am sharing. So this is a couples edition. There's a different perspective with if you are a single person, a single professional. So now let's talk about other factors for you to consider if you want to work in Northern Ireland or England. So this is just based on my personal opinion. Don't bash me. So in Northern Ireland, there are limited job opportunities, especially if you have dependent. while in England, there's a lot of job opportunities available. Number two, for nurses like us, there are only few employers which offer visa sponsorship. So unlike in England, there's a lot of employers that would offer you right away a certificate of sponsorship. Number three, since you are living in a place with a lower cost of living, so the salary rate is reasonable. So in England, since the cost of living is much higher, so the salary rates are also competitive. So for nurses, for example, if they are assigned in the inner London area, they do receive a high cost area supplement or equivalent to cost of living allowance in the Philippines, so which is around 400 to 500 pounds a month. So that would compensate their expenses because they are assigned in the central London or within the inner London. So that's why their salary rate are much higher. So in Northern Ireland, the community is smaller and friendlier. So that's my view. They are very friendly. If you sit down next to them, they will talk to you. Even if you don't talk to them, they will initiate. They're very friendly. It's like a small community, but it is a city. You know what I mean? And that's one of the things that I love about in Belfast. People are very friendly. They look after you, especially with my workmates. They treat you as family. Well, I do feel that as well here in my workplace, but I don't know. It's quite different. It feels like a small community helping each other like that. So in England, since it is a big place, it is a diverse community. So the living in England is a fast-paced type. It's a good thing. Actually, that's the reason also that I love I love to work here in England, because I love fast-paced living, active life. I love seeing a lot of people, I don't know, and I love traveling. So that's the next factor. So transport accessibility in England is the best. So there's underground and overground trains are widely available. While if you are in Northern Ireland, if you have to go for your holiday, especially if you want to go home in the Philippines, the major airports are in England, so in London. So you have to travel back to London to be able to go back home. And if you go to major destinations for holidays, there are airports in Belfast, in Northern Ireland, but not all the holiday destinations are available there in the airport. So you have to travel again in England if you have to go for holidays. But this might not be applicable for everyone, but this is applicable for me and my husband, because we were planning to go for holidays at least once a year, but due to COVID, it stopped everything. Time has been frozen. So that's one of the main reasons, because when we went home for a holiday to the Philippines, it was quite a hassle that we have to bring our luggages, take a taxi, go to the airport here in Belfast, and then go to England and book for a night for a hotel, because our flight is not within that day. So it's an extra expenses for us. So we want an accessibility when it comes to transport and when it comes to future holidays. The next factor, the recreations in Northern Ireland are quite limited, but it depends which part of Northern Ireland are you. So the capital of Northern Ireland is Belfast. So there's a lot of pubs in there, and they also have concerts in their SSE arena. So some of the major artists also go there for a concert, and they do have festival concerts as well. But it's unlike here in England, that the major concerts are available here in London, like the O2 Arena. And there's a lot of recreations available in England that is not available in Northern Ireland. But if you are a nature lover, it's very good for traveling. Also like a laid-back kind of life, Northern Ireland is very ideal for that. It's not that I am a shopaholic, but I love window shopping. So in Northern Ireland, there are limited shopping options when it comes to food or clothing. And in England, there's a lot of shopping outlets anywhere, and you just have to take a train, and it's very accessible. So you don't have to really spend money to be happy. So you can just do shopping, window shopping actually. Lastly, the weather there in Northern Ireland is much more unpredictable compared here in England. It's almost like wet every day in Belfast when we were there. And then here in England, at least you can feel some sort of summer when it's summertime. So basically, it's just my opinion. These are the factors that made a major impact why we moved back to England. And I'm not discouraging you if you want to go to a laid back type of place, because it's also ideal for building family and for saving money as well. But I didn't say that you cannot save money when you go to work in England. It's basically your personal preferences. Where do you want to go? Thank you for watching my video. Hopefully you find this informative, especially for those overseas nurses who are undecided if they want to work in Northern Ireland or in England. But remember, we do have different life perspectives. What matters for us might not be applicable for you. But you have to keep in mind that we are not just slaves of money. We should learn how to enjoy life. We should find means to have a work-life balance. If you still have more suggestions, please don't be shy, comment down below. And if you are new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe and share my channel if you find this video helpful. Well, once again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye!